Hey YouTube, how's it going? This is Starwarsnut77. Got a request of a good friend of mine here on YouTube of mine. His name is Pete Dorr. Check out his channel if you haven't done so already. He's got an amazing collection. Definitely check him if you're into video games. Check him out. But anyway, he is a big fan of Greedo, and so am I. So he basically posted. He said he wanted to see my Greedo collection. So here it is. I'm about to show you it. But before I do so, I wanted to show you why it took me a little longer than usual to post this video. So let's just see why. I haven't quite organized my collection quite yet, as you guys can see, but this is my Star Wars room, and I moved a couple months, about a month and a half ago. I just haven't time to organize it, and I will post, once I do organize it, I will post another video, but you can kind of see what I have. In the meantime, it's just about almost every figure from 95 to present. I've got a lot of vintage figures too. I'm missing about 4 of the vintage figures from the Power of the Force 1 line. My next video I'm going to post on my vintage collection, but those are my Indiana Jones figures. Didn't last very long at all. As episode 3 figures. These are my Star Wars figures right here, Power of the Force 2. So basically what I had to do was I had to go through all my collection and dig out my Greedos. A really cool website that I really recommend you guys check out. It's rebelscum.com, and it's a really good database site where you can check out Star Wars figures from vintage to present, and it helped me a lot to kind of keep track of what figures there are out there for Greedo. So I'm pretty sure I have almost every Greedo that they've made, but the room keeps going. These are the newest figures right here that they just came out with, and these are my 12-inch figures right here. And it's just it's going to be quite a task to organize this. I got my video game room as well. I'm trying to organize. All my vintage stuff is actually tucked away back there. That banner right there, that's actually from a Blockbuster when they re-released. I think it was on VHS. The last VHS copies of Star Wars. I got that from Blockbuster. My brother's working there, which is kind of cool. This right here is I was working at Taco Bell, and I got that banner from Taco Bell, which is cool. So once it's up, it's going to be really cool. I got a lot of cool memorabilia. All my vintage stuff is actually back there, as I was saying before, and even in the closet, there's a bunch of stuff. It's just like never ending. Trying to organize it all. I'm trying to debate how I should display it. But let's enough of this. Let's go check out. Not much is known about Greedo, really. So let's read this. Check out the Star Wars Encyclopedia and find out more about this interesting character who started in The New Hope. Let's read. Let's see what it has to say. Greedo, green skin and foul-smelling, the Rodian always wanted to be a bounty hunter. He just went after the wrong bounty one day at Mos Eisley Cantina. Like others of his species from the planet Rhodia in the Tyrus star system, he had a large, multifaceted purple eyes, spines on the ridge of his skull, and a taper-like nose. Bounty hunting is a noble profession among Rhodians, and he was taken under the wing of Diolan, bounty hunter, Spurge, Warhog, Gyoa, who eventually brought him to Tatooine. Greedo applied for the position with crime lord Jabba the Hutt, who already had several other Rhodian henchmen. Greedo had run-ins with smuggler Han Solo with his companion Chewbacca before, so there was little love lost between them. At first, Jabba awarded Greedo an exclusive contract on Solo's head, but nervous Greedo let the Corellian walk away from 2 encounters, after which Jabba opened up the hunt to raise the bounty. More determined than ever, Greedo confronted Solo in the Mos Eisley Cantina. The 2 exchanged words, and once again, Solo promised to pay Jabba the Hutt for the spice shipment he had to drop when Imperials closed in on him. It was too late, Greedo said, barely squeezing the trigger on his blaster before Solo fired back, killing him. Greedo's death wasn't totally for naught. The bartender Wooher ground up Greedo's body and used it as a potent new liquor, which is interesting. Okay, so if you look at the Greedo figures, you got to start with the vintage figure. So just like every other vintage figure, there is this date stamp. It's on here on the left leg. It's really hard to see, but it says 1978. It's a Kenner figure. Now, the setup outfit that he has here is a lot different than what he was wearing in the movie. I think part of that reason is because Kenner, when they made these figures, they had a lot of headshots that were black and white and kind of guessed on what the bottom part would look like, but still, the outfit's a lot different than what he was wearing in the movie. Part of that could be because they just didn't have the capability of making a more detailed figure, but the head definitely looks more detailed. He's got the white eyes, which doesn't have in the movie. It's really common for these white eyes to rub off and the ears break off. So someone's in decent shape. You know, so that's the original Greedo. And you jump ahead to 1995, and you get the Power of the Force line. This was the second wave of figures that came out for the Power of the Force in 1995. This is what they call the orange card, or red card. You know, it's supposed to be a red card, but it looks orange. Just refer to the orange card. And on the back, you've got you know, your info card, and you know, shows you the figures and vehicles available through Kenner. This is a lot more detailed than the vintage figure. Obviously, he's got the right outfit now, and you know, it's got a little small head. You know, I feel like a little small head's a little too small, but and then you jump ahead, you know, a little bit, like about a couple months later, you get this green card, Greedo, and now this is also available with the gold aluminum foil, so look for those as well. And the back is a lot different. It still shows the same characters, just laid out differently, and his information is his info card is laid out just a little differently. But for the most part, it's the exact same figure, just packaged on a different card. Now you jump ahead to 1999, and let's move these aside, and you get to the Power of the Force line with the Comtech. Now this came out during when episode 1 was just about to hit the market in 1999, so you had the episode 1 figures with these Comtechs, and it's a very cool device. And what it is, if you look on the back, you have this Comtech, and you link, and you like wave it across it, and like it would actually make quotes in the movie, which is really cool. You know, and it's really cool. It says "Kunutucha solo," you know, so you know, Jabba Waninchi Cospa, you know. So anyway, it's a pretty cool figure, and this is a lot more detailed than the original figure. His head's definitely bigger, and the vest actually opens up, and there's a wound, battle wound on his right shoulder, which is cool. So they did a really good job with this Greedo, and his articulation, his legs can bend, and you know, really cool looking figure. You go ahead a couple more years to 2002, so 3 more years. Walmart had a series of figures, Walmart exclusives, that were Cantina set, and this is a Greedo. It also came with several other Cantina member figures, and together would make a diorama. And it's a really cool thing. You cut this out, and it would be backdrop, and it would come with the table and chairs and drinks. And now the only difference between these two, same mold. If you look carefully, the vest is darker orange. You know, it's darker green. I thought they did a lot better with this color Greedo. So they're continually improving the Greedo. And then still, even in 2004, so we skip ahead of two more years, they came out with another Greedo in a different packaging, repack, and essentially it's the same figure. I like this packing a lot because it's very retro looking. And same thing, they have the battle wounds on their, if you open up the vest. You got the info card right here, and shows you other figures that were available. You know, still different color, and it's hard to see, but this is a little lighter on the vest, and that's cool. So that's essentially it for the 3.25 inch figures. Now there were several 12-inch figures released. There weren't any vintage 12-inch figures, but JCPenney's back in 1997 released this collector series. And this is only available through JCPenney's, and it's an exclusive, and really cool. It has a really nice cart. This is in a pretty good condition. It talks a little about Greedo himself, and what's kind of bummer is it's hard to see, but his hand is, you know, you can see that the gun is glued into his hand. It's not removable, and it shows you that they're characters that were available at the time. Chewbacca is one of the very rare ones. I'll show you him in another review. If you have him. And later on, for those people who did not have the opportunity to get the JCPenney's, they had basically a repack that they created, and this came out in same year, pretty much later in the year, and just a repack, and it's got the bubble. I don't like it as nearly as much. Essentially the same figure, just posed differently, and it shows you different figures that are available. And they did that with a number of figures as well in the exclusives. But probably one of the coolest Greedos I have, and unfortunately one of his ears broke. This is I bought this as a prototype Greedo, and you know, I have a certificate of authenticity. It's buried away somewhere, but he's made out of almost like clay. It's handmade Greedo. All this stuff's handmade, and you know, I want to say it's a, I don't know if it's a vintage prototype or it's like the prototype for this figure right here. I think it's more a prototype for this guy, but really cool. I kind of wish the ear didn't break off, but all handmade. And you know, I got it at a store, and the guy told me the guy who sold it at the store actually worked for Kenner, so that's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited to have this. You know, his legs will move and bend, and he's got the pistol and everything. So that's a Greedos. Yeah, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.